I have this style that I think a lot of people should do when they first start. I think a lot of people should do it when they first start making movies or videos or whatever. Is that when you make a plan, like you write a script or you have an idea. I don't think you need to write scripts all the time just to go shoot something. But let's say you do write a script. It's a very thought out thing you're trying to do. Write out the script and then pick one way to do it. It's like put all your eggs in one basket. It's only one video. It's probably not going to be that long. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not your feature film that's going to make or break your career. Let's say you're in film school or something, or just after working on small little projects. One project, small little 2 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute thing, it's not going to make or break your career. This is your scrimmage. This is your practice. You know what I mean? It's not. It's practice. It's not. Not everything is the finals. You know. So get your practice in. So the way to do it, I think, in my way, is to draft a plan. And for me, I always get stuck in the style. I'm like, well, what style do you want to film this in? You know, like what's the tone that'll affect how we shoot? You know, and I get overwhelmed because there's so many choices. There's so many different things I'm interested in. So many different ways you could take it. But I think what I try to do is I just pick one style that I like, that I'm really inspired by, and just go with it. Just pick that style. And we're just going to do everything in that style. And so then I go to the storyboard section. I'm not filming it. I'm back in the storyboard. So I draw my storyboards and I'm like, cool. I figured out all the logistics and how to tell the story in the most clear and accurate way is to do it in these ways with this storyboard. And then the key is to take those storyboards, go out to set, and film that. Not to go out and set and just improvise or use the storyboards as just inspiration pieces or just give yourself the license to fray and just do whatever. No. Shoot what's on the storyboard. Practice that. Practice executing a plan, not just giving yourself fodder for inspiration and then getting all confused and turned around and stuff like that. Because what I see a lot of people do is they get to set and they're all like, oh, how should I shoot this? How should I do this? I don't know. Is that gonna work? Or they run into an obstacle. Oh, this isn't working. We gotta shoot a different way. Well, what should we do? Should we go over here? Should we go over there? Should we do like this? I don't know. It's like, dude, just pick one way and go through with it. Die on the hill. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But you'll find out later because there's a 20% chance you're gonna guess right on the spot, on set, and that's gonna actually work in the edit. There's a 20% chance it's true. But there's a 100% chance that you will shoot whatever way, realize in the edit that it's wrong, and then know for next time really well. Because that lesson has been really solidified in you. Because you almost burned yourself. Like, man, that really was the wrong angle. We definitely should have picked this other angle. And you'll never know that on set because there's too much going on. But you will always know that in the edit. You'll be very clear about what you needed. And that'll just let that inform you for future shoots. Let that inform you. Be like, okay, I know if I'm trying to do this thing, you can't get it from that angle. Or you got to show this, you got to do that. Because it just doesn't work any other way. I've learned that lesson already. A good example is when I would try to make these running films. And you kind of bring in the teen filmmaker mentality where you and your friends get together, you want to make a little video, a little skit, or do whatever, and you're not thinking about how the whole thing's going to play out as a full film or as a full whatever you're trying to do. You're just thinking about, oh, this little thing would be cool. Okay, actually say that instead. Actually say that instead. Actually come over here and do this. Actually, instead of starting from here, come way over, start from way over there and come here. And then you just, you know what I mean? You might have 5 different shots, but this one shot, you're just going to be like, go crazy, like not think about what came before or after the shot. So you line it up in the edit, you put in the edit, you're like, this doesn't make any sense. This whole thing literally doesn't make any logistical sense. It's because you didn't take care to think about how the action in the shot preceding would logically lead to the action in the shot after. And so that shot where you're like, oh, we're being so creative, it doesn't have any place in the final film because you didn't think about that. because you didn't stick to your plan. So it's just feels like a giant waste of time where you're being so creative on set and you're doing all these cool things, and then ultimately you don't even use it in the actual shot. So like, what was the point of all that creativity? Sure, it's fun. You can have fun with your friends or whatever, but it doesn't make a good film. Ultimately, don't you want to make a good film? I do, you know. So that's the lesson I kind of learned, which is so the lesson I actually learned that sunk in was, it sounds very obvious, but things have to logically lead to the other. Because what was happening was I was trying to do this running film, and I wanted to show the runner going up the steps. There's a flight of stairs, and I wanted to show her going up the steps. And then when she got up the steps, I wanted to show her, coming up to the top, turning and running that way. And I had learned previously that you you don't just want to have you don't want to start as she's like, if she's running up the steps in this shot, you don't want to cut to the next shot and she's like way over here on this thing, or way over here, she needs to be coming up the steps still. Pick up where you left off, basically. And so what the model wanted to do was come up the steps, and then let me explain it like this. What she wanted to do was come up the steps, bend down, tie her shoes, stand up, and keep running that way. But what she was kind of saying was like, oh, what if I just start with tying my shoes? What if I'm just like tying my shoes and then I get up? I go, yeah. But just before you do that, come from the last few steps first, so we can see you finishing that action, so it can logically lead into this cool idea. And that's how you can bridge this cool idea, bridge it into the film you're actually filming, which is by just caring about those little logistic things. And I think I just said, okay, it's fine. Do all that cool stuff. Just make sure you are running the last couple steps when you come into this, just so it'll logically lead to this new idea we're thinking of. And it'll fit. Or else it won't fit. It'll be jarring and off-putting. Like, whoa, what? How did she get here? I feel like, do we miss something? Like, I feel like we jumped forward in time. Like, So it's things like that where like that lesson really solidified, and it sounds obvious, it sounds clear as day, but you don't think about it when you got a million things going on. When it's sort of raining, you got a whole other person. You think about your camera's running out of batteries, the car is beeping, people are walking by you, your pants are wet, your shoes are wet, and your hands are cold and the shoes are wet, and you know what I mean? It's crazy, So just little things like that, those lessons really sink inside of you.